What's happening, good people? It's your boy Pablo coming at you for another video real quick. Today is gonna be a little bit different though. Well, I wouldn't say different. I would say more, again, routine maintenance, right? So it's known for these cars. If you're trying to avoid having to pay for simple stuff, if you can do it yourself, great. If it turns into something else, you know where to go. So this video is gonna be about my rear diff. I gotta do the rear diff fluid change. Seems pretty straightforward. I've done it before on my old BMW that I had many years ago. That's what we're gonna do. I had been noticing, like maybe about a week ago, some kind of it would not slam into gear, but slightly jerk into gear. Like if it was downshifting from like second to first, or if I'm like easing into gear as it's accelerating, it would like slightly just jerk into gear. But I wouldn't feel it like beside me by the transmission tunnel. It was kind of like in my seat, but I could feel it behind me. I'm like, that's gotta be the diff. So I hope nothing major is wrong. So I decided, you know what? It's about 50,000 miles. Why not go ahead and just do the rear diff fluid? Push comes to shove. If that doesn't fix the issue, then I'll take it to BMW and have them take a look at it. And hopefully my warranty kicks in. So. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the rear diff fluid change and get this thing going. Nice flowers, by the way. All right, so I did not have a 14mm hex socket to fit the new drain plug. This is the only plug that's on the rear diff. So I'm gonna drain it and refill it. And then replace the old plug with this one, which is a 14mm. So we had that. Highly recommended is BMW OEM axle oil, 75W85. Has the right thickness, and I think viscosity is the right word for it. So from what I've been told, this is really all I need is just one. I could have got two, but if I'm not being wasteful, one should be fine. So there's that. This is my fluid extractor kit that I got online, which I'll have a link in the bio for where I got it, how much. Yeah, so this appears to be it. This is the extension. I'm gonna have to get this in. So probably what I'll do is when I put the extension on, I'll probably heat this up and kind of fold it a little bit. Apologize if it's a little loud in the background. Looks like landscapers are doing some yard work. But what we have is 3/8 drive, ratchet, 14mm socket and hex. And that's for obviously the drain plug. So make those two together. I'm gonna pop out the one here that's already on the car, and then we'll get everything built back in. Yeah, there's a drain plug right there. And like I said, I've been hearing this clicking noise, but I don't know what it is. I'm wondering if I just simply need to do a fluid change. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our ratchet and socket end and get that thing drained out. Oh, I gotta go get my drain bin. Let me do that real quick. So I had to use rubber mallet to kind of get a little bit more torque on it. Seeing as I guess I'm not that strong to get it off, but once it's loose, you just kind of loosen it there. It will start draining, so make sure you just loosen it a little bit, then use your 14mm. Open it up, and open up my drain bin like that, and then just loosen it just like that. Oh yeah, that looks old. That looks old. So it's not gonna be a whole lot in there. But I mean, let it drain out as much as you can, and then we will refill it. So let's see what that's like. This is the fluid extractor. Now this end here, this black end, it actually has flexibility to it, like that, but I needed a little bit more curve. So I heated up this extension just a little bit. You can see the marks there, like 2 seconds each area. And then I kind of shaped it to curve a little bit more to kind of get into the diff. So you can see that there. So let's get it in and start draining. Kind of keep going in. The car's a little bit on an angle, so that's good. You can see all that fluid coming out. You can see I'm just getting out the last little bits left now. And out. Oh yeah, this fluid is black. It's disgusting. Doesn't smell the best either, but inside. Kind of just try to get in where you can. Since the car's on an angle, most of it's going to kind of be closer to the drain hole. There we go. See all that? Look at all that fluid. There's a lot in there. Just like that. Oh, that's easy. Sounds nasty. You kind of just keep going until you get it all out. Just turn until you get it in. There we go. That's the rest of it right there. Look at that. All out. Oh! Whoopsie. A little bit of a mess, but it happens. Just grab your nozzle, put it right back on. This I can clean up later. Just put that right there. Okay, right back in. Oh. I'll edit this portion out. That might be it, actually. Okay, now. Feel around, so you know you've got it all out. Okay, feels like I do. I've already put a little bit in, just to kind of test it, see how it works. And what you do is once you go ahead and put it in, it's similar to what you did before. Try to get as far back as you can. And you're gonna push it in until you start to see it drain out. And that's okay. It's an indication that it's overfilling. Just like that. I've already filled this thing up twice. Filled up the fluid extractor twice. Went in for the third time. Running the last remaining bit. Okay. This thing takes a lot. Okay. This will be hopefully the third and final. If not, I'm gonna need more fluid. There you go, it starts to drain out just like that. So there's your indication that it is pretty much full. Any remaining that you have left, just put it right back into your bottle. All right, and so once it's filled, you put your new plug in. Give it a good tight squeeze, not too tight because you don't want to strip it. I don't have a torque wrench with me, but I can kind of gauge what 44 Newton meters feels like. So it's tight enough to where I can get it off, but it's loose enough to where it could come off with your hands or with some added pressure from like a rubber mallet, but it's tight enough that no fluid's gonna come out. So once it's tight, just make sure to kind of clean up the job. Wipe it down a little bit. Get in there, just wipe it off really good. Make sure it's nice and clean. Any excess oil, anything like that. And there we go. And we'll drop it and take it for a test drive and see how she feels. So it's a few days later. Give you a quick update. So I didn't finish. I did finish doing the Diff fluid change. It helped a little bit, and I went and did a test drive, and same problem that was going on. So I decided to take it to the dealership, BMW of Gwinnett, which is where I usually get a lot of my maintenance and stuff like that. You know, outside of just swapping out certain parts and things of that nature, because I couldn't quite figure it out. So I took it to BMW, they inspected it. It turns out what it was as actually the forums, I actually had consulted with the forums, and they said, look, it's very rare the diff to go out, which is what I thought. I'm like, F30s, their transmissions, their diffs are pretty stout for the most part, especially if you're around that stage 1, stage 2 area. Plus I'm not abusing the vehicle like that. I'm not doing burnouts, and you know, I'm not doing, you know, digs and stuff like that. It's just not what I do with the car. But it turns out that everything is fine. It's just the bushings, the diff bushings, which was crazy to me. So the mount that holds the diff in place, the bushings were loose or needed to be replaced, which is odd to me. But it needed to be done. So thank God it wasn't anything crazy or worse. Whew. I'm about to go pick up the car right now and let's see how I do. So I just got her back from the dealer. It turns out, again, yep, like I said, I think I said before that it's the bushing, one of the bolts that holds the rear diff bushing together was loose, and I've never touched it. I've never had any issues with it in terms of anything that I've done. Like I said, I changed the fluids. I've you know, followed different videos. I've asked questions about when changing fluids, but that's the only time that I've ever even looked at the rear end of the vehicle. So again, you know, unless something may have happened before I bought the car and the first owner that had it, I don't know. I checked some of the forums. It turns out that, you know, it can happen. Maybe the bushing goes out or the bolt does come loose. Again, if maybe someone may have touched it before, or, you know, it could just be a strike of coincidence. But either way, you know, I would rather it be a $240 charge to fix everything than for it to be thousands upon thousands of dollars. So it turned out well. I'm driving the car. It's back to pulling hard as hell. No more vibrations, you know, no more clanging and banging back there, no more jerking. So far the car feels good. I'm gonna keep driving it for the rest of the day. I'm on my way home. right now, and see how tomorrow goes. But so far, so good. I appreciate y'all checking in and checking this video out. As always, please subscribe to the video. Any at all criticism, critique, any suggestions, anything about my page, by all means, please send it. I'm about getting better here. But if you like what you like, if you like what you see and you want more of it, please hit the like button. Please hit the notification icon so you can be notified when I drop my videos. And until then, as always, I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you soon. Peace.